Hey guys, how's it going? Picked this one up recently. This one's more or less a project. This is a 1972 John Deere 110. This is, I don't think it has any special number behind it as the one it is built. I think it's just more or less a 72 110. Story behind it is somebody at some point quote unquote restored it. You can see somebody repainted it, put a lot of time into it. It looks really good. It started to fade though. However, I think that's just, yeah, if that was pressure washed, it would clean up. That's just about the only bad spot on it right now. I also notice it's missing the little gripper for the deck lift, which no big deal. 8-horse Kohler. The rod has apparently blown in the engine. It blew a rod. I'm not sure if it did or not. I guess they ran it out of oil. I haven't checked the oil. I don't know how much oil it has in it right now, if it has any in it. So I guess that's where we're at for right now. Let me go on ahead and set you guys up in the stand, and let's get into this thing and just see what we've got and what we need to do. So let's go on ahead and dive into this guy, and let's see what he has. Let's check our engine oil first. It is dry. Okay, great. So I guess it either burned the oil or leaked it out. I don't know if it's got drainage on it or not. It feels dry under here. I don't know if they just repainted it or if they went through the engine also. I can't, there it is. No, that's just an mounting bolt. I think it should be back here somewhere. The drain. I can't find it. That's not it. It feels like it, but it's not. It's just a bolt. I think it's up here in the, it should be up here in the flywheel areas. There it is, right there. Yeah, it's still got a drain bolt in it, so that's not the problem. So I guess it burned up all of its oil. One thing we could do is take the spark plug out. Let's see if it turns. Is PTO engaged? Oh, look at that, it is. Let's see if it turns, and let's see if we get any compression out of it at all, or any weird noises. If it turns. No compression, okay. So, it's solid state. Let's pull the plug. Let's see if we can get this out of here. It feels fairly tight. Why is that so? It should not be that hard to. There we go. Looks like it was running well. I don't see any, it looks like it has water. Looks like it's gotten water in it. I mean, it looks fine. You know, it looks like it was burning well. I don't see any indications of it burning oil. I wonder if a valve got stuck. I swear to God, I felt something. I do know something that we could do. We could throw a battery in it or a jumper on it, and we can see if it'll crank. If it cranks, and if it cranks, will it feel like it's shooting anything out of here or not, any air? If we get a gust of air coming out of it, then that means we've got a good piston. We just need to figure out if one of the valves is stuck open or not. So I guess that's where we're at next. So I'll bring you guys back here in a second. I grabbed my jumper Let's see which one of these is positive and which one of these is negative. This one appears to be the positive lead. It goes to the solenoid. So we'll throw our positive on that one and we'll put our sad one on this one. There we go. Let's just see if we can get it. No sparks or anything. That's good. Grab my keys. Yeah, well, my keys. There they are. And let's see if it cranks. And if it cranks, it does not crank. It doesn't have a seat safety, does it? Does not appear to. What's that? What? Oh, that must be for. It's got a stop underneath it. What's this? Is that just there? No. It doesn't even seem like it's drawing current of any kind. So, oh boy. It could be a bad ground. It could be a dirty contactor. It could be a bad ground. Let's check the gas tank just because it's got gas in it. Oh, it does. Not a lot. Got a little bit in it. We got some free gas out of it, which I guess is cool. It's probably full of water though. Let's see. Where do we go from here? Well, we could do that actually. We could just run the thing to here. We can get that to work. Oh, I know what it was, I bet. It has the safety. That could have been it. That probably was, actually. It does look like that safety is hooked up. I completely forgot about the PTO engagement safety. I know somebody was saying something about it though, down below. You got the PTO on, you're still going to print. Yeah. Let's try that now. Let's see if we get something out of it. Ready? Take two. No. What's the switch? Why is that switch there? There's no wires going to it at all. Did it have headlights at some point in time? I don't know. Yeah, this doesn't look like it goes to anything. That's interesting. Alright, well, let's go back to our original plan. Let's put the positive lead on our starter terminal. And I guess we'll just leave our negative lead probably right there, or we could ground it to the motor like that. Cool. Let's see if it'll crank. And if it'll crank and it says that starter's good, we'll listen to it and we'll see if it sounds like it is moving air. Yeah, we've got a blown piston. I kind of figured that. Well, I wonder how bad the damage is. That could be, it could be, well, I don't know. We should have checked it to see if it had spark. Let's go on ahead. Let's just pull the, man, I was really hoping a valve was stuck, and that was the problem. At least we know we have a good starter out of it. Good flywheel too. I need that for my 110 over here. We're 6 minutes in and all we've done is manage to crank it. That's it. Where do we go from here? Let's just pop the head off, just because, since we know we're already going to have to. And after we pop the head off, we can look at the cylinder. If we can get the piston out, that would actually be great. And we can look at the piston, look at the cylinder, see where it broke. I don't see any indications in the block anywhere of where it windowed it. So we may not have to worry about the block being windowed. You know, however, we could even shoot a flashlight down the dipstick hole and see if we can spot anywhere that it did. Let's just go on ahead and pull the head, I guess. We can look at it and just see, you know, what we find in there. I guess, might as well. I think the two, why is that wide open? I think that is 7, that is 7. These all should be half, holding down the head. Hopefully. What's that? Oh, that was from something else. Put that in there. Whatever. And then we should, oh well, we should just need to help these out. I don't know what the plan is for this tractor right now. It's either going to be parted or it's going to be, we're going to fix it and get it to run. It is missing quite a bit, however. Watch it just be someone pulled the engine apart and didn't put the bolts in the piston or put them in loose. And all it is just got to tighten them bolts, or got to find the bolts and put them in and get them to work. That'd be nice. Don't got to replace the rod or anything. More than likely, we're going to end up having to swap out the rod too, which I guess, you know, no big deal. I have another rod ready to go. Because I kind of figured that we would be getting into this thing fairly far. You know? Oh well, what do you expect? I've been doing this for a while and I kind of know my way around these things, and I know that when they have problems, they tend to be a little bit more of a pain. It looks like an original carb, actually. I got a couple other ones. Oh, shit. Are you on that? Let me grab another wrench. That one's kind of thin. We should pull that tank off and just go ahead and check that aspect. I think the bolt is turning, is it? Are we turning it correct way? Yeah, we are now. This should be able to come off. I would normally be concerned about getting stuff in the bore. However, I'm not right now because, well, I wonder. It almost looks like, and it's hard to tell, but it almost looks, that might be the light. Yeah, I think that's just the light. It almost looked like there was a crack in the block as to where it may have hit. I think usually it would be over here on this side. I don't think it would be over there, but I guess it depends on where the piston was or where the rod was in what position. There we go. We're fairly close. There we go, we got it. Let's get this. There we go. Hey. This should, there we go. This should get the thing out. There we go. One. Cool. There's one. Now we'll just wait until we get the head off. Two more. Oh, look at that. Took the whole stud out. I knew one of them would do it, I just wasn't sure what one. Luckily, this engine might get a second chance at life. Maybe. There we go. And now we are up. There we go. Man, that looks rough. That piston. Yeah, it seized. It looks like it might have been running lean. Although you do want a caramel color. I don't see any evidence of it burning oil. I mean, look at that, that turns. Oh, it goes, there it goes. Yeah, it definitely blew. I wonder what happened. The cylinder doesn't look horrible though. I mean, I have definitely seen worse. So, I almost wonder if we had a strong enough magnet, if we could get that piston out. Is the rod still? It's not seized unless it did, and then, oh yeah, it still hits. Yeah, so the rod is in the bore still. I wonder how far down it is. Here it is. We're not hurting anything, you know, we've already established its its problem. If I can get it to, All the things you can do with a blown up engine. Okay, so I wonder what it's hitting on in there. So we've established it is a blown rod, which I was kind of hopeful that it was going to be a valve was stuck. However, oh well, I knew what to expect. I got another engine sitting in the other room. I was hoping the piston would be up higher than it is. Up, it would have shot up and out like that 17 horse did that I had before. I have a feeling that piston's original. I don't think this has ever been taken apart. And why I say that is because this gasket is so stuck to the block, it almost makes me wonder if that's the original gasket. It might be. There we go. Yeah, I wonder if this has ever been taken apart. I bet somebody probably just repainted the tractor and then that was it. They probably didn't do anything involving the engine. So I can assume it probably burns oil and probably is going to need rings. That gasket's definitely reusable. Doesn't look bad. It doesn't look like it blew out or was going to blow out anywhere. Maybe right there. It doesn't look terrible though, overall. There's no markings on this or anything, is there? I don't see anything. And it's still, head gasket is still left in here, over here. It definitely, that's the exhaust right there. This is the intake. It definitely looks like it got hot. Which is probably why that spark plug didn't show any evidence of burning oil. It probably burned all of it off. Can we get this to turn? I was going to see if we could get this to turn. Oh, we were turning it the wrong way anyway. We'd have had to. There we go. Let's see if we can. I'm going to have to wire wheel this block. Probably. I wish the piston was up higher. Let me clean that piston up, and after I do that, I'll bring you guys in, and I'll let you guys take a look at it. We'll see if you guys see anything since the camera has a light. Let's take a look. Yeah, I don't see any markings on it or anything. Yeah. Oh, look. Right there. What does that say? STD, standard bore. So it is a replacement piston. So somebody has been in here at one point. It doesn't look bad. It probably needs rings. I wish I could get that piston out. Yeah. Oh well. Where do we go from here? Since we know it's no good. Let's go on ahead and get things set up and ready to pull that motor out. And then once we pull that motor, we'll go from there. So I'm sure all of you, as well as myself, are curious as to what exactly happened here. What's the carnage of the engine. So what we are going to do is, we are going to go on ahead and pull the engine out. I have another short block upstairs if we end up needing to swap out a block. or I have a engine upstairs that does run, however, it does burn oil. So if we end up going that route, because the block is too far gone to fix, we could do that. I kind of would like to get this tractor running. However, I'm not sure exactly how far I want to go into it. If it ends up being a simple fix, we just got to pull the engine apart and find out it's just a shattered rod, it didn't blow the block up or anything, we'll go on ahead and fix it. Well, I got another piston, another crank I can throw in there, because more than likely we're going to have to replace that crank. However, if we don't end up needing to replace the crank, or it's not bad, then we can go on ahead and just fix this block, but I guess we'll see. All right, let's get into it. Ready? Getting back into this engine, I pulled it out of the tractor. I was going to time lapse it, but I changed my mind because I don't really have that much storage on the phone. So we're just going to, and plus I didn't really feel I need to, because I've done that so many times that everybody knows how to pull an engine by now, I'm sure. It's just a couple wire, it's just a wire or two that you have to disconnect depending what ignition system you have. Choke, throttle cable, you got to unhook the starter wire. Then you got to take the belt off, and that's really it. Shouldn't be any, no, there's nothing under there. It's just up here. And I think that's just a support. There we go. Yeah, that's just a support. One thing I noticed on here that I like, and I think it's kind of neat they did it, is on the starter, they actually put the alternator voltage and how it's negative ground, which I thought that was kind of neat. They put that on there. That's an original starter, and you can tell from 1971. Let's see if it has any oil in it. I'm kind of curious if it burned out all of its oil. I doubt it has any in there, but you never know. Oh, look at that. So it does have a little bit in there, but not really enough. I don't know how far down into the block it goes either. Yeah, see, we get a little bit. It goes down about that far. Huh. Actually, more like that far. So it's almost at the bottom of the block. It's almost at the bottom of the pan. It's fairly close. Stick these back in here. That does bend, but I don't think that it affects it. I think it still goes straight down. If I remember right, those are 1/2 inch. What's they do appear to be. That's got the same weird gear on it as my other one does. Interesting. Is this the normal gear for a K181? I have another starter that has that same gear, and it has all sorts of problems, and the starter slips on the flywheel and it has tore all the teeth off of the flywheel. If somebody could tell me if that's the stock gear, I'd really appreciate it, because that's the stock. That's definitely an older, I don't know if it's stock, but it's definitely an older starter. And I don't know if that's, I don't think that's the correct one. But again, I more or less mess with the big block coolers. I don't really mess with the small block coolers all that much. Not really an expert when it comes to these. Well, actually, I take it back. I am fairly good, fairly knowledgeable when it comes to these, but, you know, I focus more on the bigger engines. I don't really have very many of these. So we'll pop these out of here. And there should be 2 more on the other side. It just depends on what we have to remove to get to them. Shouldn't have to take the, that doesn't need to come off, I don't think. Those are going to be a nightmare to get to. That one's going to require a wrench. This one I can probably, yeah, that one I can get on. Something just fell. Oh, I know what it was. That goes up here. Yeah, that goes up here for the choke holder. And that's off of something else. So now we need a wrench. The reason you need the wrench is because the indent in the block for the cam covers this bolt. So it's just about impossible to get out unless you take a wrench and get it out. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. But this right here, that's the cam. That's the indent in the block for the cam. They did that on the bigger engines too. Let's see what it takes to get this separated. Keeping in mind there's oil in there, yeah. I was afraid of that. It's gonna take some, I know the piston says STD, but I don't know, you know, how long it's been since this has been opened. This could have been opened 30 years ago. There we go. I don't know how long it's been since this engine's run either. You guys ready to see what happens when you let your engine run out of oil? Oh man. Whoa! That's what happens right there. Look at that. Pretty much the whole bottom of it broke. So that means the top, well, there's some little chunks. That's what happens when you run your engine out of oil. We got lucky here though, it looks like. It didn't go through the block anywhere that I can tell. I don't see any cracks. Yeah, the block looks fine. I'll have to check that oil pan. Yeah, I don't see any cracks or anything in the block, which is good. That means that it can be used. Well, let's take a look at the, oh man. It almost looks like it took a chip out of the cam. I think it did. Wow. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but right there, it looks like that took a chip out of that cam gear, or the cam. Wow. That looks, oh yeah, that cam, it welded itself. Yeah, look at that. Oh man, look at the carnage. Look at that, you guys. Yeah, that's no good. So we're gonna have to replace the crank. I kind of figured we would if we were to get this thing running. Let's see if we can get that piston out. And if we can get that piston out, we can inspect the bore and see how the bore looks. Oh, no. I might have to help it. There we go. You guys ready to see the piston? So where's the rest of the rod? There should be more than that. It's not in there anymore. Where is it? It appears we're missing some of the rod. Right there. Because it should go down a little bit further than that. This doesn't look too bad. STD. I wonder if this is the original. I wonder if this engine has ever been apart before. I don't know if it has or not. Let me wipe that cylinder out, and then we'll bring you guys in. Since you guys have a light, we can check the core with. Yeah, I think that I'll take you guys out of the stand for sure, and we'll get a look at it once we get everything wiped out. Yeah, this thing is, as long as it didn't chip the block anywhere, you know, we might be able to use it. Yeah, see. Yeah, I think this thing was a goner. I don't see any chipping. Man, I can't believe it knocked that cam gear. Let me get you guys out of the stand. We'll turn the light on the camera. We'll let you guys get a look. Let's take a look. It's unfair for me to look without you guys, but looking at the block, I don't see anywhere it came through. Is that crack? No, that's not. But I don't see anywhere that it looks cracked or it looks like it came through. You can see in here. Look at that rod. Over here. Look at, where's the cam? There it is, right there. See that spot? Actually, it looks like both of them. Did they get nailed? Well, look at that right there. Unless that's not a part number. Yeah, that cam got knocked. You can see right there you can see the markings from where it got hit by the rod. Wow. The skirt looks okay. I don't see any problems there. Yeah, it looks, I wonder if that's metal shavings. Yep, that is metal shavings. Wow. Let's see what it looks like in here. Overall, I mean, is that cross-section? I'll be damned. Somebody cared for this engine. It's got cross-thatching in it still. Wow. All right. Well, it's up here at... No, it goes all the way down. Yeah, that goes all the way down. Somebody has definitely recently been in this motor. It probably has little to no hours. I'm willing to bet somebody put new rings in it and they got it running. Someone obviously repainted the tractor. Someone's put a lot of work into the machine. I bet somebody repainted it and they got it running and they put the rings in it. You can see they honed out that cylinder, you know. I mean, this thing has no hours on it at all. This bore at all from, well, I take that back. It has hours on it, but not since it was bored. Where did I put the piston? There it is. Wow. I wonder, I'm almost tempted to say that I wonder if that tractor even has any hours on it, if the whole thing is a low hour machine, because I don't, it's hard to say whether this has been pulled out before or not. This looks like the factory piston didn't look like that. I don't think. This isn't a Kohler piston. However, this is what they looked like. This was stock. This is not. So I think that I don't think this is a stock piston. It could be, but you know, I don't know. This doesn't look like it was nailed by the rod when the rod blew. That almost looks burned up. Well, it probably is. Not running running with no oil in it. It probably is scored up. Although it moves. It moves okay. Is there? Oh, there is. Does that say still? No. Oh, I was reading it backwards. Yeah, that still moves, and from what I can see, that pin looks fine. It's covered in oil. The rod definitely has seen better days. So I wonder. I want to take the rings off of here. Those rings look new. So I wonder, and this is more realistic than my first thought, but I still have that in my mind too. I wonder if somebody took this engine apart, or somebody obviously repainted that tractor and put some work into it, like I said before. I wonder if they pulled the engine apart, went through it, because it probably burned oil. They put new rings in it. I don't know if they put a new rod in it. It's hard to tell. I doubt they did. That's probably the original rod, and that's probably the original piston. They just put new rings, like I said. It burned oil, or they just didn't put enough oil in it. Or maybe it burned oil, because I think when you first rebuild an engine, it burns. Sometimes they burn oil, sometimes they don't, depending. I guess it just depends on the engine. And it probably burned up all of its oil and blew the rod. That's probably the exact thing that happened. Or the engine has no hours on it, because like I said, it's still got cross-thatching in it. And that cross-thatching looks, sometimes you can tell if it's been run quite a bit since it was cross-thatched. This one doesn't look like it ran a whole bunch since after it was cross-thatched, after something was done to it. It doesn't sound realistic, but I wonder if this is a new engine. Tractor's been repainted, obviously. That's not original. But I wonder if this is just a low-hour machine. But why would somebody repaint? Or maybe they bought it, whoever bought it bought it, and they used it probably about a year, and then they put it away, and then it sat somewhere for a decade or two. Somebody bought it off of them, repainted it, and then started using it, didn't check the oil in the engine, and it blew. But I wouldn't think, well, rings could be stuck, which that ring actually, now that I'm looking at it, the oil ring doesn't come out as far as it should. I wonder if it's stuck. It does move. Where's the... Yeah. Look how tight that gap is. I bet you that's the exact... Yeah, see? It should go out a lot more than that. I bet you, see, it should be open kind of like how that is right there. I bet you that's exactly what happened. The oil ring got stuck. The two compression rings look good, but the oil ring got stuck, so it let oil past. That's probably what happened. So I guess it could be, because after they sit for a long period of time, you know, the rings do get stuck, and that looks fairly stuck to me. It should be out and moving more than it is. I don't think it's wore out. I definitely don't think it's wore out. I don't know. That's my thought. I wonder if it would slide right back in past the... Yeah, look at that. Sure enough, it did. I didn't even have to squeeze the oil ring. Now we're down to the first compression ring. So we've got a stuck ring. Wonder what it would take to bring that back. Well, I wonder what it would take to bring that back. Well, I guess that's going to be it for this one. I was considering rebuilding it. Let's take a look at the rings. Let's just see what these guys say. If you guys want to see this engine rebuilt, well, not rebuilt, we'll just I might not hone it. I might hone it out. We'll put new ring. Oh, yeah. Look at that. No hours on it at all. That gap is tight. Yeah, see? See how tight that gap is? Yeah. This thing had no hours on it. Like I said, I bet you the oil ring got stuck. That's probably the exact thing that happened. I'm not even going to test the second compression ring because, well, we obviously know what happened. Both rings are good. This one's the problem. Like I said, I'm willing to bet it had no hours on it. You know, somebody bought it off of probably the original owner who only might have used it one season to mow with and maybe do other small things. Left it set for a couple decades, and then somebody else down the road bought it, painted it up, made it look better, and started using it, and it had a stuck oil ring. The two compression rings were fine. And then once they bought it, they decided to use it, but never checked the oil in it. And, well, there goes the rod. Or maybe they were checking the oil, but they waited too long, and, well, there goes the rod. So, all right, guys. I'm going to leave this one up to you guys 100%. If you want to see me put a new rod in this and get this engine going, leave me a comment down below. Like I said, I think I'm just going to leave it up to you guys. We got to look at it and see what happened. It's pretty interesting. I got a few ideas as to what possibly happened. Leave your I can't speak. Leave your ideas down below as to what you guys think might have happened. I think I'm correct with it probably was bought new, used one season, sat for a couple decades, and then somebody ended up buying it and the ring was stuck. Because, I mean, it just drops right in. That ring is stuck. It was definitely not doing anything, you know. And here's the rod. Here's, well, yummy, yummy oil. All right, guys. Well, I want to thank all you for watching. Like I said, leave me a comment down below. And if you're interested in seeing this engine run again, I've got a donor engine sitting right here. Unfortunately, this guy has lived a rough life. This one is stripped, so it's just going to be a block, I guess. We're just going to use it for parts. All right, guys. I want to thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave me a comment down below. What do you guys want to see me do with this? Do you want to see this engine run again? Do you not care? I am going completely off of what you guys say on this video. If nobody comments, I'm probably going to end up parting the tractor out and probably parting this engine out or keeping it upstairs for a usable block. If you guys want to see me rebuild it, well, half-ass rebuild it. What I mean by half-ass rebuild it is new rings, new rod, probably the original piston, new gaskets, because we are going to have to put new gaskets in it. We're going to have to put a new crank in it. Actually, we're just going to use the rod and the crank out of this engine over here. So, I mean, we're good there. It'll just need new rings and gaskets, and that'll be just about it. All right, guys, I think that's going to be it. I want to thank all you for watching, and I will catch all of you in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye. I figure you guys probably wanted to get one last good look at the tractor before we continue on with whatever the plan ends up being. There's where the engine was. Looks fairly clean, actually. More than likely, I know somebody's going to comment, why don't you swap a Predator into it, or why don't you swap something else into it? I am not swapping a Predator into a classic tractor, and I'd rather stick with the Kohler. I like Kohler engines, and it's a 110, so it'll get a 8-horse Kohler or maybe even a 10-horse Kohler depending on what I decide. So I figured we'd go on ahead and dig into this thing a little bit further since we're already looking at it. I do want to take a look at that rod a little bit better than I'm looking at it right now. I also want to get a look at that cylinder a little bit better, and I want to get a look at that crank, the cam. I'm probably not going to pull the cam out, but I do want to look at it at least just to see what it looks like. Let's pop this out. This is probably going to be fun to get off here. I bet you these are probably seized to the crank. Little impact has impressed me. It does pretty good at getting things. I felt like it started to go. I was going to say, I'm just about to beat on it some, but I don't need to. Alright. There we go. Look at that. There we go. We got it. Do they say in the block what they are like the big ones do? Oh, it does. No, it doesn't. It just says 608. Seal looks good. Looks like someone changed it. Or, like I said before, I don't know. Let's swing this around. I keep on thinking that it could be the idea that I had at first where it's got little to no hours on it, but I seriously I can't bring myself to believe that. I don't think that's the case. But I don't know. It very well could be, especially since that ring is stuck. And I seriously doubt somebody would go through the effort of taking this thing apart just to reuse the original rings and hone out that cylinder. Honest to God, I think I'm right. I'm right on with my assumption that it has no hours on it, and it might be, the original bore. Well, it is the original bore, but original piston and maybe rod or maybe rings, from when it was new. But it says STD on it, and usually the original pistons don't have any markings on them. Unless they changed that at some time, but I don't know. I've seen some that look pretty well original and like they've never been opened. However, they say STD on them. So I wonder if some of them had markings and some of them didn't. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Is this going to come off? Orange too. I wonder, it looks like somebody painted it, this tin, with it still on the engine. Yeah, I bet you they did. Yeah, they probably did, because those are green too. Both valves work. Everything works. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I think. I know people are gonna come after me in the comment section for thinking that it's all original, especially with the cross thatching. Somebody had to have been in it at some point with the marked piston, but I don't know. I just don't know. I need a wrench. Like I said before, what do you guys think? Leave me a comment down below. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say as to what you think it could be. I don't know. Did Kohler use pistons that said standard bore from the factory? Somebody might be able to tell me. Because I don't think... Maybe they did. I don't know. I would figure they would. That way you would know what bore you had. But I guess maybe not. Yeah, somebody definitely painted that green with it still on the engine. Let's see if we can get this flywheel to come off of here. What size is that? I think it is this one. Which it is. I know somebody's going to chew me out for thinking that it's original. I just know it. I don't know. That's what I think it is. I think it's original. You know, like I said, it had to have sat for a couple of decades like that. Somebody probably bought it and used it for a little while and then just parked it and bought something else. For whatever reason, people do tend to buy things and just use them for one season and then get rid of them. Why, I don't know. You know, using a dead blow might not be the best hammer to use. You want it to give it a shot, you know? And I'm not one bit concerned about this crankshaft. It's already ruined. Will that come out or? Oh well. Empty. Say. It wants to. Careful. You could reuse that if you don't fuck it up. So there is your setup. That's your stator, and that's your coil right there for the solid state unit. That and that. And then there's 4 bolts that hold that cover on. I think there's 4. There should be 4 bolts on there. If it's the same as every other one I've messed with. Let me grab a better screwdriver. wonder if somebody's been... No. I think this was marked up because I tried turning it. Because this one down here looks fine. I don't know. I seriously wonder. I do wonder now. It just doesn't sit right with me. Thinking about that. It could be, you know, it could be original. And I might be right with what I'm thinking, you know. Where's that other one? That's down here, yes. There we go. Let's see if this will come off without pulling the rod with it. That happened with a rubber mallet. Huh. Wonderful. That's cracking too. I have another one of these plates. We'll just replace it. No big deal. Hopefully that's the same as a normal one. We have everything removed. Why doesn't it want to... It's cracked up here too. I really wasn't wanting to do that, but I guess if it's that simple, you know, then we're gonna have to. Wow. Wow. Bearing's still good. You know, I just thought of something. That bearing's still good. That bearing's still good too. I was gonna say, I wonder if the bearing gave up. And that's why it was stuck. It welded itself. I wonder if it welded itself to the bearing. I doubt it. Let's see if we can get it out of this. There it goes. There we go. We got it out. Yeah, see, that welded itself right to the thing. Yeah, that's gotta... Can you hear it? I should not... That's what it should be like right there. Not even noticeable. I should not be able to catch on that. That's what happens when you run your engine out of oil. And look, right there. Right there. Cam gear looks okay. This could be a good crank, you know, if somebody needed it or wanted a crank to use. However, I'm not going to use it. It's no use to me. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Let's get a look at the cam. We're probably going to end up having to pull that out anyway in order to do just about anything with this block. If I don't have to, then I won't. Man, this thing is a mess. For it having, well, I can't say much because 216, I use it, you know, I clean it up and then I use it and it looks like this after one use. So, I mean, it's not bad. Oh, we forgot to look at the back of this. Oh, the spacers fall. That's what happened. I was wondering what fell. Alright, guys. Well, I think we're into this one as far as I'm going to go for now. If you guys want to see this engine get rebuilt, leave me a comment down below and I guess we'll dive into it and see what we can do. But yeah, we got to look at it. We got to see how everything looked, and it's a pretty sad one. That's what happens when you run your machines out of oil. You know, that's why you always want to make sure that you've got oil before you go out and run something, because that could happen to you. All right, guys, with that being said, I think this is where I'm going to go on ahead and end the video. I want to thank all you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Usually we don't do videos like this where we're tearing down engines, but, well, today was a different story. Might as well see what happened to it. So with that being said, I want to thank all you guys for watching, and I will catch all of you in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye.